Hello YouTubers. This video is similar to the last video, but the map is probably a bit more accurate. As I said in my previous video, there are a few things I can do to improve the accuracy. Plus, I want the data to be as good as possible before I run any statistical analysis. After all, good data in equals good data out. I had to look at the records a bit more closely to determine which records were highly likely to be false. Of course, this is a bit subjective, but I imagine that most would agree with my methods. So how did I weed out more false positives? If you look at the summary column, you'll notice that there are two types of entries that are important. One type of entry questions whether the record is a hoax or not. My view is that if the people collecting UFO reports thinks it's possibly a hoax, then I'm almost certain that it's a hoax. So I entered a SQL expression to remove all entries like that. There was also another type of entry that said NUFORC note and provided a likely explanation for the event, in many cases being the planet Venus. I used another SQL expression to remove those entries. There are very few entries like this, but I suspected it would at least have a slight impact on the map, so I created a new space-time cube and ran the emerging hotspot analysis tool again. The map still seems to indicate that areas in the western portion of Colorado and portions throughout the middle of Oklahoma and Kansas are emerging hotspots, along with the New Orleans area. There are a few differences, but you can see that the map is very similar. Since this data set was put together a couple of years ago, one other thing that would be helpful is to add the last couple of years of data, but that's a bit more time consuming. Considering this data set has over 40 years of data, I felt it was a sufficiently good starting point. Sometime this week I'll get the data added, clean it, and then produce a final map. Afterwards I'll do some statistical analysis of the data. I'll probably create a regression model and possibly a random forests model. After that I'll probably be doing species distribution modeling on Bigfoot sightings using Micah-El. Thanks for your time. If you like this video, please show your support by subscribing.